The successful defense of Eger against the Ottoman siege of 1552 is widely recognized not only for its strategic importance, but also for the extraordinary leadership and courage that made it possible. At the center of this historic resistance was István Dobó, the fortress commander, whose steady hand, meticulous preparation, and trust in every member of the garrison, including civilians and women, proved decisive in holding the fortress against overwhelming odds. From the earliest days of the siege, Dobó demonstrated an acute understanding of both the military and human dimensions of warfare. Facing a formidable Ottoman army vastly superior in numbers, he knew that conventional strength alone would not suffice. Instead, he focused on maximizing the effectiveness of his smaller force through rigorous organization, strategic fortification, and an unwavering belief in the potential of every defender, soldier, or civilian alike. Dobó's leadership was most evident in his meticulous preparation of the fortress. Anticipating the Ottoman assault, he oversaw the reinforcement of walls, the fortification of gates, and the construction of barricades to impede enemy advances. Ammunition was rationed carefully, and resources such as food, water, and medical supplies were managed to sustain defenders over the extended siege. Every aspect of preparation reflected not only military foresight, but also the practical knowledge that morale and endurance were just as critical as weaponry. Equally important was Dobó's ability to inspire courage and confidence among his troops and civilians. He treated every defender as an integral part of the fortress's resistance, giving responsibility to soldiers, women, and ordinary civilians alike. Women were entrusted with critical roles such as transporting ammunition, reinforcing fortifications, and even pouring boiling liquids on attackers attempting to scale the walls. Civilians assisted in repair work, cared for the wounded, and carried out essential logistical tasks. By placing trust in his people and demonstrating faith in their abilities, Dobó ensured that every individual understood their value to the defense effort. The courage displayed by defenders under Dobó's leadership was extraordinary. Soldiers fought continuously at the walls, engaging in hand-to-hand combat whenever breaches occurred. Civilians took on dangerous roles that exposed them to extreme risk. Together, they transformed the fortress into a nearly impregnable stronghold, where collective determination compensated for the disadvantage in numbers. Dobó's guidance and confidence were instrumental in channeling fear and exhaustion into coordinated, effective action. Dobó's strategic vision also included psychological tactics designed to reinforce both the defenders' morale and the illusion of greater strength to the besieging Ottoman forces. He orchestrated fake troop movements, constant cannon fire, and loud singing to create the impression of a fully reinforced garrison. These measures not only misled the Ottoman commanders into overestimating the defenders' numbers, but also reinforced the determination of those within the fortress, giving them a psychological edge despite facing overwhelming odds. Throughout the 39-day siege, Dobó's leadership was tested repeatedly. The final Ottoman assault on October 17th, in which tens of thousands of soldiers attacked simultaneously, presented the ultimate challenge. The fortress faced breaches, walls were damaged, and defenders suffered heavy casualties. Yet Dobó's calm command ensured that every defender remained coordinated. Orders were issued efficiently, counterattacks were mounted at critical moments, and morale was maintained in the face of extreme danger. His ability to remain composed under pressure proved decisive in preventing the fall of the fortress. Dobó's courage was not limited to strategic command. He personally took part in defensive efforts, moving through the walls, inspecting fortifications, and ensuring that soldiers and civilians were performing their duties effectively. This visible commitment inspired defenders to persist in the most dangerous moments of the siege. His presence reassured those who were exhausted, wounded, or fearful, reinforcing the sense that every individual mattered in the collective struggle to hold Eger. The collaborative spirit fostered by Dobó was unprecedented. By integrating civilians and women into key roles, he transformed the fortress's defense into a comprehensive effort that extended beyond traditional military structures. Everyone within the walls understood that survival depended on unity, and this shared responsibility amplified the effectiveness of the garrison. The combination of leadership, preparation, and mutual trust allowed Eger to withstand repeated Ottoman assaults despite severe shortages, exhaustion, and casualties. The successful defense of Eger under Dobó's command had significant strategic and symbolic consequences. Militarily, the fortress's survival blocked Ottoman advances into northern Hungary, protected critical towns, and disrupted the larger campaign plans of Sultan Suleiman. Psychologically, it provided a rallying point for neighboring regions, demonstrating that disciplined leadership and courage could withstand one of the most powerful armies of the era. The leadership of Dobó became a model of resilience and tactical ingenuity, illustrating the central role of human agency in the outcomes of siege warfare. Dobó's example also underscores the importance of adaptive leadership in extreme circumstances. He recognized that traditional hierarchies alone were insufficient, that morale and participation across all segments of the population were critical, and that tactical innovation could compensate for numerical disadvantage. His approach combined discipline with empowerment, structure with trust, and courage with foresight, a combination that ultimately secured victory against overwhelming odds. In retrospect, the Siege of Eger highlights how leadership and courage can transform potential disaster into historical triumph. The fortress's survival was not merely a matter of walls, artillery, or manpower. It was the result of coherent strategy, inspired leadership, and the bravery of every individual involved. Dobó's vision ensured that every defender understood their role, took ownership of critical responsibilities, and contributed to a coordinated, relentless defense that ultimately forced the Ottoman army to retreat. In conclusion, István Dobó's leadership and the courage he inspired among soldiers, civilians, and women were decisive factors in the successful defense of Eger. His careful preparation, strategic insight, and trust in those around him created a resilient and adaptive garrison capable of withstanding the might of the Ottoman Empire. The fortress's survival stands as a testament not only to military skill but also to the power of human courage, coordination, and leadership in shaping the course of history. Eger remains an enduring symbol of what can be achieved when leadership inspires collective action in the face of overwhelming adversity.